Hello, it's another part of Jak Daxter Precursor Legacy. This time we are doing the Lost Precursor City. And I will fuck this up a few times, but I do like this level a lot. I like the design of the level. I like how this level works. It's definitely unique in its own way. And the music I do indeed enjoy a lot. It's very dark sounding and such. And also very techno in a way, while still being of the usual theme that it is, this sort of tribal sort of theme in a way. But yeah, this whole thing is mainly just platforming. The entire level is just a huge amount of platforming challenges and puzzles. And honestly, that is what Jak Daxter 1 does best. It's puzzles. It's platforming puzzles. And, in all honesty, this is one of the best levels to showcase these sort of challenging puzzles. And it's all down to how well you can deal with the platforming in the game. Like, for instance, these electrical bits of water around here, and you have to go through these platforms to not get buzzed by them. And, you know, the platform's timed and all. And there's also these enemies in which you have to jump up and hit the first guy up there and then hit the bottom guy as well as the fucking top guy again. You know, there's a lot to it. Not just the whole platforming with the fucking platforms and shit, but also the enemies and such require you to actually know what you're doing with the control scheme of the game and such and how to play through with it. And in all honesty, I think it's done pretty fucking well. And it definitely requires you to know what you're doing, to not fuck up like I did there, and to genuinely just be decent at it. And also, I can just kill myself here, get my health back, be back up top, so I don't have to, you know, use the platform to go all the way back up to where I should be. I can just die, be back at the start. I already got all the stuff down there, and I can just move on with full health. Now, I do die a good bit in this level because it does have its challenging moments, and it has been a while since I've actually played this game, so I am rusty. But to do you the favor, I'm going to jump cut straight back to it in a similar sort of transition that the game gives you. This sort of quick fade in. But yeah, there's these things as well. These two circular platforms in which you have to essentially press onto them and they just move around in a clockwise position or whatever. You have to hit a wall, they go the opposite direction and keep going that direction. And you utilize this to basically your own way on how you want to handle using these platforms. For me, I like to, you know, go ahead and go straight through in the middle of this big area with it, right down to the buttons. And then I like to go ahead and make a sort of bridge for only the middle part. So I can easily jump over to the right, and left side already has its own platforming shit. There's also this little platform up there around that area, but I don't think it's possible to really get up there unless you're able to somehow figure out some insane bullshit I haven't been able to, you know, do myself. So, that's something I'm missing. I can't really get up there, no matter what. Also, the camera doesn't really like me going up there anyway. Anyway, these little spots here, these little circular spots on the ground, are where things are going to spawn. And there are 3 buttons which will spawn those items. 2 of them are flies, and only one of them is a power cell. Now, the power cell is the hardest one to get, since it requires a lot of time-full platforms, while the other 2 are simple to get just from, essentially, using the moving platform to get to them. You don't need to, because the distance is actually just far enough so that you can still manage to get there with a well-timed rolling jump. Long jump, essentially. But I am going to use the platforms in their intended use for at least one of them, while the other one I am going to just make a long jump for. because you can actually do that and easily get there. And if you do miss and fall down, at the very least, you can, for one of them, make a high jump to get right onto there, so you don't have to use these anyway. And also I like to have them going the opposite direction they start off with, to go on just sort of the right way instead of the left way, so that it's just my little thing how I want to deal with this. So first of all, I'm going to hit this one. And all I have to do is make a long jump for it. I can also fuck up and do that, but I can easily do a high jump up for that. So, you know. But yeah, that's how you should go for it if you don't want to use the bridge. It's easy to fuck up though. But then your time to quickly get back over there before the platform is reset. And, yeah, I'm pretty sure the platforms have now fully reset, and I am not going to be able to use them for this. Also the fact that I keep fucking this up, and I am most likely going to die. Because there is electrical water around. Nope, I'm fine. Yeah, platforms are reset now. So I need to go and get them again. Because at least that one, the left fly, is easy to get with the long jump. The middle one's harder because it's a bit more distance from that one. So it requires you to really get a good timing on that one. It is possible, and I have done it in the past. But again, I am rusty, so I'm not able to actually do it again unless I do a whole bunch of attempts. And I don't really want to waste your time too much on this part. Which is why I'm going to be doing the jump cut when we get to the depths. Which isn't happening just yet. So, I believe that this is good enough. Now I'm just going to hit this button here. The fly will now go over to the middle. And all I have to do is use the platforms to get over there, and that's it. And the time is generous enough for you to easily get both flies. The power cell, though, not so much. You have just a few extra seconds to go through this. If you fall down, you're better off just restarting the whole thing. And yeah, there's also a fly in the middle they want to get real quickly. But yeah, it's all about down to timing with the platforms and such, and not fucking up and falling down. And once you manage, you got it. Simple as shit, honestly. No problem there. And with 48, we are nearly there to actually halfway done at the power cells. Because the total in the whole thing is 101. And once we get about 3 more, 2 more, we're about halfway done. So, not a long game really, and not a really tough game either. And yeah, this is 49. There's gonna be a few that are just right in the middle, easy to get, like that one. So yeah, 49. Now it's time for me to go into a checkpoint, which this is, and deal with these guys. Which the only way to actually fight them is to jump above them and do a slam on top of them, which will ultimately break them and kill them. Most people don't know that. Most people just avoid these guys, and honestly, you can. Okay, now time for this puzzle. Now, unfortunately, I do fuck up on getting through this bit to get these orbs, and I do die, and yeah. Here's a death animation that you can sometimes get.
While you're down there, could you rub my feet?
Yeah, Daxter has a few of those. They don't pop up much, but they do pop up a good bit, and they also pop up in Jak 2 and 3. Not sure I'm ever going to get all of them. But yeah, this puzzle. Outside of this guy who's an annoyance, the puzzle here just requires you to jump on all these platforms without jumping back on the blue platform. And if you go in the water, it all resets. I tried to be fancy. I could have just jumped across and then jump for that last one, but I tried to get fancy, but that's fine. Because starting on that platform makes this much easier. Because then all I have to do is take care of one side first, then go all the way to the other side, in a circle in a way. Take care of the middle bit, and then go straight for the exit one. And that's it. I'm done. It's a fairly simple puzzle. Not that hard. Requires very small thought to, you know what the pattern is supposed to be. And if you do fuck up, you can still work around with that. I now have 50 power cells. I am about halfway done of the game in that sense. Now, all I have to do is get the fuck back over to the middle and continue on with the level, because that's just like a bonus area to get a power cell in, while the actual way it's supposed to go is this way. Be careful of the, the vortexes here. They don't really harm you so much as this electrified water does. Take care of this guy over here, get rid of his buddy as well. And now this button here. You have fucking no time, essentially, once you press this button. You gotta be instant with this shit. Which, I wasn't. And, yeah, I died. Now, his successful attempt is shoot what I fucking do in the first go, instead of what I did there. So, go through, and there you go. You have enough time to get across those 3 platforms over to there. Same thing on the way back. But if you're on 1 health like I am right now, you don't really need to do this. You do need to go all the way back to this area because you put back to those spinning motherfuckers, but for yourself, it's faster, in a way. Okay, now it's time for the slide. Now, there are precursor boxes here as well, and usually getting all precursor boxes is tough. But I'm not that rusty with this game. I do remember this bit quite well, and I do remember how you're supposed to maneuver with this. So, getting all of them on the first try is not that hard for me. Same with this bit, except this bit's much easier, because all I have to do in order to take care of these Tesla coils, which are what these are supposed to be, is to get my blue eco on and go and get all of them. They're all timed, though they will run out eventually, so I have to be fast about it. Luckily, there is a pretty simple pattern with these on how you should maneuver it to get these. You just have to go take 2 of them, then go on top, take care of the 2 on top, and then get the last 2, or the last 1, at the bottom on the platform, and that's it. Fairly easy, honestly. And just like that, we now have an exit out of the Lost Precursor City, which I'm going to take because there's a power cell on top of it, which I do want. So I'm going to go ahead, press the button here, and get that. I'm a bit too far away from the mic in my initial recording.
Wow! You raised a piece of the underwater ruins to the surface. It seems you can use eco in ways we've never seen before. A power cell surfaced with the room. Climb up there and get it.
Already way ahead of you, Kira. And there you go. I now have the power cell. And I could just end it there, but there's still more shit to do back in the city, so... Yeah, that'll never get annoying, huh? That little, left to right audio bullshit, or right to left, and how fucking loud and noisy it is. But yeah, there you go. Now here's some vents I have to climb up to get the fly here, which is the last one. Done with that. And now we get to do one more slide, which will lead us to a bit that is a little iffy. Also, this slide is a bit iffy as well. Getting some of these boxes is not that easy, not that simple. And I do fuck up on this one. Again, I am rusty. I'm not that rusty,
And keep away from those dark eco boxes.
but I am rusty enough to fuck up and hit the eco boxes regardless. Especially around here where my movement is just kept at one side, and I eventually hit it, even though I didn't want to at the very end of it.
Trust me, those dark eco
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Daxter. Anyway, after getting these, we're done. Here's a power cell, and now we can move on. Except, why is the power cell on this platform?
I got a bad feeling about this. Jack, run! The dark eco is rising!
Yeah, it's a trap. They weren't gonna make it that easy, now were they? And unfortunately, I get a bit cocky and I fuck up big time, and yeah, I fall. I fall into the dark eco, which essentially just instantly kills me. And it's mainly because I misstepped. Now, it doesn't start until you press the button at the very least, and you have to. I don't think there's actually a way for you to skip pressing the button either. So, yeah. I fuck up again because this time my timing on the moving platform is changed, and that ultimately fucks me. See? But here you go. That's how you should do it. And now I can actually move across without any problem at all. Except maybe missing some shit. I'm not trying to though, like at all. I'm trying to get all of these. And of course, more maneuvering platforms. Luckily, the Dark Eco does slow down a bit to help you, you know, let you maneuver through these, because the timing can be a bit off, and it could take you a bit to get across. It doesn't want to like rush you completely. So there you go, we did it. We managed through the Dark Eco, and not only did we get all the Precursor orbs, we also got all the power cells as well, which means we are done with the Lost Precursor City. There you go. 55. I'm a jump cut, so that, you know, you don't have to watch me go all the way back to that thing to get up. But there you go, I got all the power cells, got every objective done, which I am going to stop reading because I go by too fast and I can't be fucked. But, yeah. It's because of Basin as well. You can see these edits as well for that one. It does say different things sometimes, but I'm not going to go that far into detail on everything of these objective names and such. I am going to show them, though, just to let you know what they say. And yeah, there you go. That is the Lost Precursor City, one of my favorite levels of the game. And it's jump cut. And now we're back here. And now you can just leave by essentially going over to the entrance, which is around here. There you go. So, what next? Well, we're pretty much done with the majority area. So, now we get to go ahead and get these power cells from these two people. The geologist and the fucking guy in the barrel. After that, we're pretty much done. We can just leave then, because the laser is all that's left, right? No, there's one more level to deal with, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, though, let's get our last two power cells of Rock Village, starting with this guy here. Maybe not. I'll deal with that guy later. The geologist will deal first, though. She's further away.
Oh, you have the orbs. Here's a power cell we agreed upon.
Simple as that. So now, all that's left is the guy in the barrel that does all the baiting and shit. Because why not? Let's give him a few fucking, you know, precursor orbs, give him some pants or something, instead of that fucking barrel showing his dick or something, I don't know.
Whoa, yeah! These orbs will help me win my way back out of this barrel. Here's the power cell I promised.
There you go. That is all the residents of Rock Village. So what now? Well, like I said, we can go to the laser, which is activated right now, and be done. We also get this fly here. And also get the last fly at the last level of Rock Village. which I'm not a fan of. I do think that this level is unique in its own right, but I don't like it. It's problematic in a way. It's not fun. And with this last power cell for the part, yeah. This level is a swamp level. And swamps aren't that different to sewers, because you're still swimming in shit. Yeah, I am not a fan of this level. I don't like it. Like, at all, really. So yeah, Boggy Swamp. That'll be next time. Thanks for watching, guys. See you then for a swamp level.